Hey, guitar people. Hope you're all doing well. You know, I was thinking about something the other day in a whole bunch of my favorite songs, in like country and hillbilly songs and rockabilly and swing and all kinds of stuff. A lot of my like favorite phrasing on guitar or even a guitar like solo, it starts on a certain beat. And I'm going to show you what beat that is. And it's really catchy. Now, a lot of times you're going to hear me do a count, and that count is going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then I'm going to start playing. When I start playing, that's on the 2, for beat number 2. And so, to give you an example, we'll take a Buck Owens song, the song Gonna Have Love, with Don Rich on the lead guitar. And it goes, well, it starts out as like a pickup. And by pickup, I mean that like 2, 3, 4, and then the 1 starts and we're off and running. And what it sounds like is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now you don't hear the count, of course. You just hear, if you press the play button, but what's actually happening in that is you can imaginarily, that's a word, imagine that you're counting. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's do that on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And then, you know, it's like, how's that go? It's like, and I'm gonna have love one more time. Now, another one would be in, like, Elvis. Well, that's alright, mama. Right? The guitar solo. That would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And that's like the classic walk-up that, or I'll show you here. It gets you to the A, because the song's in the key of A, and that would be like, if you use the A major scale, that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is your E, E, the low E. 5, 6, 7, 1. Because the A is your 1. So 5, 6, 7, 1. Or you could think of it as like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? And there's all kinds of other examples. I have an example in the style of Buck Owens. It's something that I came up with, but it would start on the 2 again for beat number 2, and it would be like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Again, that's starting on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? It's just really catchy for some reason. I don't really have, I don't really understand why, It's just, it just sounds so awesome, but it does. So we're going to use it. If you realize like a certain, like a pattern that it just works, just use it, you know, who cares? Well, I wouldn't say who cares about everything, but for this, I don't think there is actually like a musical like reason why. It just is that way. Unless I'm wrong, and then you can tell me I'm wrong. And you can tell me I'm wrong. That's okay too. But let's look at some other ones. Actually, since we're on the topic of Elvis, well, kind of. We're on the topic of Elvis and Buck Owens, but for Elvis, there is this other song, an old one, and I cannot think of the name of this song, but you guys might know. It does the same thing. It's slower, though, so maybe easier to pay attention here, but it would be like, I haven't played this in a while, so bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, So there's that. You've heard this in like Flat and Scruggs and any kind of like the bluegrass stuff. I'll give you an example. You could go like so it would go something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And I'll actually slow that down, and because this is like pretty cool if you can get this hand down. I'm doing a roll. So this, it'll be like this one, and then this one here. But again, it starts on the second beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could use it in like a swing, kind of like a jump blues sound. You know, you could do something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. It got a little bit of like a country flavor at the end, but you get the idea. And again, that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I like that there. So what if we take a dive into the Buck Owens song that I was showing to you guys? The Gonna Have Love song with Don Rich. And I'm gonna have love one more time. Now the intro goes. that's not something that I don't think I would have came up with that. I like what he's using right here. He's actually putting in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's putting in the flat 6 over the G chord. Sliding into that E, sliding into the major 6. Now, if I was on the spot and I had to create an intro for this, I would probably do something like I mean, that's like so that's like super simple and not that interesting. So maybe here, like, what would I do? I would do something like something like that, maybe. Yeah, maybe. And you could use your ear to come up with something like he did. I just think that's very clever to put the minor 6th in there. And, you know, that's actually something that I do when I'm doing the Travis picking stuff, where, so let's say, like, key of E. Right there, over the it's over the B7, and we got E, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So it works over that like 5 chord. Right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 6 right there. It's just an octave higher. And then, so you slide that flat 6 up a half step into a major 6, and then you can resolve back to your 1 chord. So I think that that's what he was thinking when he came up with the intro to that song. And on the original recording, they're way tuned down, a whole step. So if you want to play along, you have to put your whole guitar a whole step down. Place that you can find this is in Johnny Cash. I don't even think I have to say the name of the song because everybody knows this song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Right? Again, and that one's not even a walk-up. Not all of these are going to be a walk-up. It could just be any like kind of phrasing that starts on the 2. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I should also say that the other thing that I was doing, the swing like kind of thing, where that's actually on the end of 1. I was just thinking about that. That'd be like if we slow it way down so we can hear it, because it's a quick pickup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Yeah, that's on the end of one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2. So, I mean, it doesn't have to be on the second beat all the time. You can have a pickup start on any, like, subdivision of any beat, like, really, but it's just very, very common that it starts on the 2. You know, I think, like, the most classic one is just that. Something like that. But you can experiment and use your imagination. That's the coolest part about playing music is you could call them like rules, I guess you say, but it's not exactly a rule. There are certain like things that you can use that are going to always sound good. But, you know, sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, but like there's always exceptions for the rules, you know? You can just use your imagination and create your own thing. And if it sounds good, it's good, you know? See, that's the cool thing with music is that, like, there are some rules, I guess you say, but they can always be broken. You don't have to stick with the rules all the time. And that's, like, what is going to make things interesting. Because you could stick with the rules, and it becomes very predictable, and then you break a rule, and it makes it like, oh, whoa, that sounded interesting. And why does it sound interesting? Because you broke the rule. And then, like, so maybe after you break a rule, you resolve back into, like, sticking with the rules again, and then you break another one. And then you resolve back, and then you break another one. And that's what, it's just going to make things more interesting. And that's what we want as musicians, is to sound interesting, right? So some people, they talk about, like, oh, like, for music theory, I don't like music theory because it hurts your creativity. Well, I would counter that argument saying that if you only know a tiny amount of music theory and you stick within that parameter, yes, it can hurt your creativity. However, if you know a lot of music theory and you know I can choose to use this, or I can choose to step out of the realm of music theory and I break a rule, it makes it sound interesting, and then you go back into it again. And I would also think that if you know a ton of music theory, it's just a lot more like information that you have at your disposal. It's like having a large vocabulary in language, right? You don't have to use it all. You can use a lot if you'd like to. And it just can only help. Having an understanding of anything in life can only help you. If you choose to use that, that's on you. If you choose not to use it, that's on you too, but that's okay. And you can flip-flop. Sometimes use it, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you go out of the realm and you just get like extra creative, and then you know how to come straight back into the realm of where everything sounds hunky-dory, you know? And also, something that I was thinking about in all this stuff is like, so let's use vocabulary as an example. You could, if you only knew a tiny amount of music theory, you may be stuck having to use a word like this. Now, if you understood an enormous amount of music theory, you have other options. You could make a word like this. And the information that you are relaying to the audience, they understand it as the same concept. It's just presented in a different way, and that is interesting, right? And this is just one small example, but it's a way to like kind of like wrap your head around how much music theory should I learn. Some people, well, I should say not some people, but from what I've seen, it's only really when it comes down to like us guitar players. It's like guitar players are the only musicians in the world who reject music theory, and it doesn't make sense to me, because it's just understanding your craft. I'll stop here though, and you can make up your own mind. I will say though that the more information you have, the easier things are going to be when you're trying to play, because you have more options. I'll stop now. I know that this video is a little bit strange and it's not like super concise, but it's okay, because it's just something that I had on my mind. And sometimes when I make these like videos, it's almost like we're just hanging out, you know, and we could just like share things with each other. So if I was just hanging out with some friends, it's just something that I would have brought up in conversation and talked about. So I want to share this with you guys because I love the guitar and this is just what I like to do. So I hope you guys have a good day. I hope you have a good life. And I'll see you guys in the next video, and just keep on picking.